Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Movie Deputy Reviews. We are here interrogating another movie for its plot and content. Now, I maybe don't use that line enough. That's a tagline I have used since I created Movie Deputy. Is the main thing that I do is interrogate movies for their plot and their content. And you may be wondering why I'm saying it quite like that. Well, it's because the movie we're talking about today it's a little bit unusual, and I'm not so sure I mean that in a good way. There's nothing necessarily completely inappropriate with it or anything, so there's no absurdly inappropriate content to give it a guilty rating, but just because of the nature of the content, I am giving the movie Eternity a guilty rating. Now, I've got the poster pulled up here for my YouTube and Rumble. Friends, we are now officially on Rumble, so if you are on that platform as well, you can find our videos over there. If you are more of a Rumble fan than a YouTube fan, I've had a lot of requests to kind of come over there as well. So we're just kind of jumping in with that too. But with Eternity, we're really just jumping in, and I kind of want to preface Eternity by saying a little bit, as we all kind of imagine what eternity will be like. We think, even if you believe or you don't believe in any religion, we all have ideas of what will happen when we die. Is it just nothingness? Is it heaven or hell? Is it some other type of just whatever that we try to imagine? This movie delves into that and so much more. It starts out maybe wanting to be a little bit of a romantic drama with a little bit of comedy mixed in, but it's very controversial because it deals with an eternity where there is no great heavenly being, there is no traditional heaven, there is no hell. But the biggest thing about this story, and it's downplayed the most throughout the story, is that there is no God. They refer to God as Kevin in one scene, but in general, there is no God in Eternity. And so that is, but like I said, it's the most downplayed part of the story, but it's centered around everything as the story is told. So let's go ahead and jump in here with the trailer. And of course, I will be back to talk about this movie some more. And not that I'm going anywhere, but let's jump into that.
Guess you weren't expecting it.
What the hell is going on?
We have now reached the junction.
Well, I guess the surgery didn't go so well.
You've passed away, Larry.
Who are you?
I'm Anna. I'm your afterlife coordinator.
So when we die, we don't run into angels. We don't see any heavenly beings. Of course, we don't see pearly gates, at least according to this movie. We get an afterlife coordinator. What does that mean? Let's find out.
It's not a job.
And this is the junction, where you choose one place to spend eternity.
You want a little sniffle?
And who to spend it with.
Joan!
I was in bed and then I...
You look amazing. I have shocking news. You're dead. Yeah, how'd you know?
It took him forever to figure that out.
Excuse me. I've been waiting for this golden goose for 67 goddamn years. It's a lot to absorb, so I highly recommend just take...
That's another reason I'm going to be giving this a guilty rating is the language. I mean, there's no sex scenes, no violence, stuff like that, but the language is, definitely guilty.
Deep breath in and out. Just breathe.
I never dreamt you this clearly.
You're exactly how I dreamt you.
See, this looks like it's going to play out and be this beautiful romance, but there's a lot more here going on.
Oh, no.
Who's this guy? First husband. Died in the war.
Joan, you all right? Honey. I know this is a lot, but don't worry. I've been doing the research.
Larry!
What do you mean, Larry? We were together a week ago.
Well, a lot has happened in a week. You died, I died. I just been reunited with both of my dead husbands, and I have to pick where to spend eternity. You waited 67 years.
When eternity's on the line, seems like nothing.
It's a good opener.
You're a lurker, pal. You're waiting beyond to spoil a half a century of marriage.
It's not a competition.
Yes, it is.
Sweetheart, it's 100% for sure a
It
competition.
is in fact a competition.
That's literally what we're here for.
wanted you to have a life, but I wanted us to have a chance to have one too.
That is so romantic.
I can be romantic.
I don't care where we end up, just as long as we're together.
You're going to have to remind her of why she fell in love with
Knowing you're happy makes me happy.
Eternity is a long time to have regrets.
So, have you chosen your eternity?
So dying is not as simple as just dying, and eternity is not as simple as it seems. In this one, there's a lot of really harsh language, a lot of people sensitive to the GD word. That word is used a lot in this. There's basically any expletive you can imagine is a common theme in this story. But Joan is basically the lady you see here in the middle. And she was married years ago, and her husband was killed in the war. So she met somebody new, got married, had a family. Don't worry, no spoilers here. You know, no spoilers with Movie Deputy. But once she dies, she realizes that her first husband's been waiting in the junction for all these years for her. And the husband that she has spent most of her life with died just a week before she did. So now she has to not only decide which one she's going to spend eternity with, but they also have to decide what eternity they want to spend it in. Now, that seems simple, but this story definitely inserts a lot of just nonsense, and there's a lot of political influence. Like I said, the whole thing that they're doing without the God theme just really kind of takes it to a whole different level. But then you add in, you've got capitalism world, Studio 54 world, roller coaster world, clown world. If you can imagine it, they have a world for it in the junction. The thing is, you only get one choice. The one that you pick, you are in forever. That's it. You get this the one. Sorry, one of my cats is being very strange. But you only get the one choice, and so once that choice is made, you're stuck. So not only does she have to decide who, but they have to decide where. And it just basically contradicts any idea of any religious afterlife or any hope or anything that everything is going to be better. It's like if you're living a life in pain, you're not going to be all better. And it just undoes everything that has any meaning with any afterlife. But it downplays it behind this twisted type of romance of sorts. So I really struggle to recommend this one. I say if you really must see Eternity, I hope you didn't waste the money on it in the theater. And if you want to wait till it's on instant video, wait till it's free. In this one, I wouldn't recommend paying for it at all. I saw this in the theater, and I wish I hadn't. It was just, people have asked me what I thought about it, and it's like, I would love for this to be watchable but forgettable, but it's not even that good to be that. So you're probably thinking, okay, score-wise, this is going to suck. And yeah, it really does. Score-wise, I'm coming in on Eternity at just a 3.25 out of 10 on the Deputy scale. Now, a 3 is if you really must watch this, basically wait for instant video, DVD, Blu-ray, if you want to rent it, if you want to borrow it from somebody, or this is one of those movies that's going to just be on some streaming service before long. It's one of those ones that's just going to be barely out of the theater, and it's going to probably likely be on a lot of the lower end streaming services, but it's not going to be one that's basically heavily advertised. It's just, with A24 Studios, they're either hits or misses, and unfortunately, the misses in this one is kind of what creates the misses. Now, acting-wise, I don't focus on a lot of that stuff in my reviews. The people that are playing the parts here, you really believe they are playing those people. It's very believable as that, and whether you want to or not, you kind of get sucked into parts of the story. There were parts of this that were very meaningful, very emotional, but just I couldn't get past the fact of the godless eternity and then just the lack of humor in something that's supposed to be a romantic comedy. I mean, there's a little bit here and there, but it's not painful. It's definitely not painful, but it's uncomfortable, but not in. There's movies that make you uncomfortable and you're kind of glad they make you uncomfortable because you learn something from them. But this is one of those ones that's uncomfortable that you're just like, why? And before I get too much further into this, I do want to share with you the podcast image. So this here is the poster. And this is the podcast image. You see, I didn't change very much at all on this one. And you see that the top there, it says you can only choose one. Well, that's part of the thing of the story is you only can choose one eternity. But for Joan, in this matter of fact, she can only choose one husband that she wants to spend eternity with. So who will she choose? You know me, no spoilers. What eternity will they choose? Again, no spoilers. But so I'm hoping that this will help somebody trying to decide whether or not this is for them. Hopefully it'll help a little bit. If you're curious, the 3.25 and you're not familiar with the movie deputy scale, a 4 is watchable but forgettable. A 3 is if you must see it, wait for instant video, DVD, Blu-ray, etc. And since it was much closer to if you really must see this, just wait and do so on instant video. It's going to be a lot more satisfying than if you had wasted the money. I will also comment, when I saw this in the theater, it was in one of the smaller screens at one of my local theaters here, and there was maybe 10 people when the movie started. And when it was done, there was only 4 of us left in the screen. So everybody else had gotten up and left. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. Anyways, I hope that this helps. I hope that if you always want the latest and greatest movie deputy content, that you will like, share, and subscribe so you always get the notifications when a new episode goes live. So, as always, I hope you're enjoying these as I am. I will be back on Monday with with my review of the original Zootopia. So make sure to come back for that. I know if you've probably been enjoying the Zootopia 2, that I unfortunately had to give a guilty rating to, just because I think I gave that a guarded innocent rating. Guarded innocent, but yeah, it technically could qualify as guilty too. But either way, I want to wrap this up and I will be back soon. Bye-bye.